Well, when we talk about the sources, certainly that political instability is foremost. There are a number of countries which are actually suffering from economic crisis. Pakistan could have do well if it was politically stable. Um, Inflation is a global phenomenon at the moment. There's no country, there's hardly any country in the world which is spared from this inflation. But this political instability in Pakistan has further aggravated the crisis. And then there are, of course, issues related to governance. Not only the present government, but even former Prime Minister Imran Khan was not able to deliver as it was expected on the issues of governance. So misgovernance is a perpetual issue in Pakistan. And of course, the third factor that has led to this economic volatility in Pakistan is our inability to strike a balance in this major power competition. We as a nation are not able to draw a fine balance between China and United States of America. There are a number of countries around the world who are, extracting maximum economic benefits by engaging both the superpowers. But in case of Pakistan, we are still engaged in this or that mentality. We have not been able to balance between China and United States. So this is a test for our foreign policy as well. Our foreign policy options will also determine the course of our economic revival as well. When we talk about foreign policy options, unfortunately, during last 4 or 5 years, we were not able to maintain the momentum with our Arab allies as well on key strategic issues. That also was one source that now, when Pakistan looks towards its Arab friends and allies, they are not as forthcoming to help Pakistan the way they did in the past. So it has something to do with the high politics as well.
تعتقد أن الحل بيد صندوق النقد الدولي؟
I think solution is purely indigenous. First of all, we have to fix this political issue at home. We have to go for a consensus-driven economic policies, an economic policy which is not affected or impacted by any political crisis in the country. And secondly, we have to work towards governance issue. Thirdly, International Monetary Fund has asked for some genuine structural reforms in Pakistan, and those structural reforms are much needed in Pakistan to come up with some long-term solution. For instance, one demand has been to increase and expand the tax base in the country, which is quite discouraging to say the least. Secondly, there is this elite privilege in Pakistan, which has to be fixed through proper structural reforms. So IMF, interestingly, is now being seen as an agent of change by a number of Pakistanis, which an institution which can force the governing elite to deliver on good governance and economic reforms.
هل سيتقبل الباكستانيون الذين يعانون أساساً من الوضع الاقتصادي المزري إصلاحات صندوق النقد؟
Well, when we talk about IMF and its demands from Pakistan, most of the demands, IMF has made it very clear, are not, intended to harm the ordinary Pakistanis. Rather, they're intended for economic reforms at the elite level. So when it comes to those IMF-related reforms, I think there are many a thing which are quite doable. And I think the government, willingly or unwillingly, will have to follow the IMF agenda, because other traditional sources of economic oxygen, such as the Arab allies, China has recently poured in some money, but not as much as it was expected by Pakistan. So IMF is a big hope for the country, and I think the coalition government would have to adopt the reforms being demanded by IMF.